Hey guys, before we get into today's episode, I want to share with you about something I am hugely excited to announce, and that is the upcoming launch of the newest and best group coaching program that has ever come out of Overcoming Graduation called Master Your Day. This program is going to be a 3-month group coaching program focused on helping you not just achieve your goals, but to create enjoyable days, moments, and experiences on the way to those goals. As I've spent the past few years studying, researching, reading about, watching videos about creating a dream life, I've realized it is not the creation of, this massive thing comes together and that one big goal and then life becomes good afterwards as a result. It is a conscious creation day to day, moment to moment. So some of the questions I started to ask were, how do we do that? How do we create a dream day? How do we create a dream life? And how do we start to build the habits and the routines in those days so that we can have consistency in saying, I know I'm working towards my goals, I'm connecting with the people that are important, I'm taking care of my body, and I am getting things done. This program is all about that. We're going to go deep into mindset, identities, values, and how our identity shapes the way we show up in the world. Then we'll dive into goal setting, the most effective goal setting tips, tactics, tools, and strategies I have ever found to help you get clear on what you want and what your empowering why is. There are so many things that people will say about, set the right goal, it'll take you here. But if you don't have an empowering why underlying that, why are you doing this? Something you can check in with when things get really hard. That will be one of your biggest downfalls. It's something I've experienced. It's something I've seen. And when I have that why behind it, it changes the game. So that why discovery session is going to be one of the first and most important parts of this program. We're then going to go into habits because now we've got our why, we've got our values, we've got our goals, we've mapped out how we want to be pursuing these things, but how do we actually get rid of the bad habits and maintain the good ones? And not only maintain them, how do we implement new good ones? And how do we enhance them over time? Because the next section talks about efficiency and effectiveness. So now we've got our habits and routines. Now we've got our values. We're clear on our why, but how do we get better and better at doing the things that lift us up, make us most productive, and help us share our gift with the world? And the best part is you won't be doing this alone. You'll have me as the coach and guide leading you through this process, but you will also be surrounded by a group of incredible individuals who are doing the same work, who are working on the same things, and want to share that journey with you. They're going to support you. You're going to support them. You'll be connected. And the whole way through, we're going to make sure that you're taking steps toward your goals. You're dreaming bigger. You're acting bigger than you ever have. And you are demonstrating to yourself that the person that you have always wanted to be has been waiting there inside for you to unveil. That's what this program's about. I want to help you, and I want to get on a call with you to tell you more details to see if this program is the right fit for you. So if this program sounds like it's interesting, if this sounds like something you need and want in your life right now, I want you to contact me at brian@overcominggraduation.com. That's BRIAN at overcominggraduation.com. When you contact me, you can either send me a message on social media, you can shoot me an email and say, I'm in, I want to know more about Master Your Day. I will send you a link to set up a 30-minute video call with me. We'll talk through the program. We'll see if it's right for you. And if it is, we'll talk about everything you need to do to get on board and start transforming your life starting that first day. So remember, it starts July 17th, 2019. If you're interested, don't wait. Most people hesitate. Most people think too much. Most people go, maybe I could, or, we'll see, or, I don't know. Don't hesitate. Don't flip-flop. Don't waffle. This is the moment in the day. If this sounds right for you and this resonates with you, send me the message and we will get that call scheduled straight away so we can see if this program is right for you. Now, guys, I love you all. I'm so excited to share this episode with you today. So let's get into today's episode of the Overcoming Graduation podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Overcoming Graduation with Brian Drury, a show where I work to teach you everything I wished I'd known about habits and mindset to help you begin creating your dream life today. Today is another installment of The Morning Commute, where I take my ride to work in the morning to share a short but powerful message with you to help you kick your day off on the right foot. And today's message is this. Could it really be that simple? I walked into the locker room at the office the other day and saw a buddy of mine who
I know from workout classes. Don't know him too well, but we see each other in workout classes. We'll have short conversations there, see each other around the office type of deal. And I said, hey man, how's it going? Just kind of a little back and forth. And then I said, how things going? I'm like, man, I'm stressed, and I know that I'm stressing about things I shouldn't be worried about and that aren't a big deal. And he goes, well, what's going on? And I'm like, well, I'm taking over some new processes and I'm working to make them better, but I literally just took them over and I wanted them to be better, but it's taking longer than I thought. So, and I'm just kind of, it's throwing off my day a little bit, and I don't know, I'm just really in my head about it. And then he goes, oh man, this, no point in worrying about it now, and I'm sure you'll make it better over time, so this is just part of the process. And in the past, when I was more frantic, more focused on being busy, more focused on I have stuff to do, so I can't focus on people and talking. I need to get stuff done, which, as you can imagine, led me to feeling very disconnected and very unhappy. I would have missed this because I would have just been like, I gotta go. Yeah, all right, cool, man. Thanks. All right, yeah, see you. Have a good one. I'll see you at workout class. Like, that was how my mind felt constantly. But he goes, yeah, man, there's no point in worrying about it, and I'm sure you'll make it better over time. I think that was actually all he said were those two lines, and I went, huh. And I stepped back, and it actually had this really profound impact on me in that I said, well, wait a second, why am I worrying or stressing to begin with? Why do I feel like this needs to be a part of this? Why am I choosing to incorporate this into this experience? And when I was younger, I used to think that no, it's not a choice, it's that I just am this way. I am anxious or a stressor or another piece. And here's a very kind of interesting thing that our mind does. Our mind goes, well, listen, dude, we've been very successful as a result of this stress. And we can't be successful without this stress. It's this very dangerous little lie that the mind believes unless we choose to challenge it. Because we go, Sean Stevenson, my mentor, has talked about that we often think oh, I couldn't do this without that. And he goes, true, maybe. Or maybe you could do it better. Maybe you could enjoy it more. Maybe when you enjoy it more, you will do better, which is almost always the case. So what I found to be very interesting was it was 2 sentences, and it was really standard stuff. It wasn't anything prolific. It wasn't words from the mountaintop or the guru said this, but there was a ton of wisdom in it. And it kind of evoked that question of, could it really be that simple? Could it really just be that easy of he's right. It'll get better over time, and yeah, it's new, and I'm learning, and that's okay. And I can have fun learning, and then eventually I'll get there. And a part of my mind goes, no, Brian, you can't do that, because then how would we stress ourselves out and put a bunch of pressure on ourselves? If you're all relaxed about shit, how will you ever get anything done? You think you're going to be productive if you're just sitting around just chilling? And that's where the extremes of our mind trying to keep us in our comfort zone can get ridiculous, but also dangerous, in that we start to make things, our mind will rationalize things to keep us in our comfort zone, even if it's speaking irrationally. So even if it's you haven't worked out in a while, you want to get back to the gym, and your mind goes, no, you shouldn't do that. You're like, no, I actually really want to. It's well, the gym is far. You're like, it's only 10 minutes away. Well, listen, it's going to be embarrassing, right? You're not going to lift the weights you used to, or there's going to be stronger or more people that are more fit there. You don't want to deal with that. And you go, listen, man, it's not about them. I'm ready to do this for me. And then your mind goes into panic mode and goes, whoa, okay, he's pretty serious about this. He might actually get out of his comfort zone. Hang on. Okay, hey, you know what, man? Well, listen. Hey, listen, I'm all for you going to the gym. Remember, this is the mind trying to keep you comfortable. Hey, I'm all for it, buddy. But here's the deal. if you just go back and start working out hard, you might hurt yourself. And, and you probably want to work out hard, right? Yeah, because, that's what's going to get you results. But I mean, think about it. If you haven't stretched in a while, you could strain a muscle, you could tear something. Like, I'm just trying to think about what's best for you. I'm just trying to take care of you, man. I don't want you to get hurt out there. And, that's why you shouldn't go to the gym. And it's interesting, because one of the things that I heard about the best excuses is that they have to seem reasonable. And unless we educate ourselves and introduce ourselves to different ways of thinking and continue to become aware of and challenge the negative or limiting voices and beliefs in our minds, they can run the show under the radar. And then that's when we start doing things like playing the victim and pointing fingers, because we feel like it's out of our control and there's nothing we can do. So who do we blame? Because this pisses me off. And, the excuses that we come up with are hilarious sometimes. Like when I was thinking about moving to California and I got scared and I got nervous, I was like, I know I'm going to go. I know I'm going to do it, but I just feel so much uncertainty. And there's this part of me that was like, no, you should stay. Like, this place, and you teach salsa on Sundays. Like, don't you want to keep doing that? And what about your friends here? And what about, you know how things work here. You're going to have to find a new grocery store when you get out there. And I kind of laughed at that. And then the excuses were like, shit, that didn't work. But what about this? All right. Yeah. You have your salsa group here and there's some of your best friends and you teach class on Sundays. Well, what if you can't find salsa when you move out there? And then that was one of the ones where I paused. I was like, really? That's the best you got, excuses? And they were like, it could be true. I don't know. I'm like, I'm not going to find salsa in Southern California. And they're like, well, maybe like the area that you're in. And when we actually start to look at our excuses just as that, of someone who is, or a voice that is trying to keep us safe in its mind, but in reality, it's just trying to keep us stuck or in the same place. That changes the game. And one of my old limiting voices or negative voices was like, you're too busy for people, so just rush. And so I would miss so much. And one of my goals this year when I was writing out what I wanted to do for 2019, I said, I want to make time for people. And that may sound really broad and vague, and it is, but in a very good way. That I have started to apply that, where more and more I just say, if I'm like rushing between meetings, or I'm like running to the coffee station to grab some tea and then I'm going to circle back to my desk, I pause. And, I see somebody I know, I see somebody that I want to talk to. I don't just kind of give them the head bob and move on. I stop and talk. And sometimes they need to talk, and there's stuff going on. Sometimes we just laugh, and sometimes I learn something new about them, and it's amazing. But also, sometimes they help me, because in that moment, you just say, hey man, and it's so simple, but so true. Like, could it really be that simple? Yes. In fact, most of the deepest truths are very simple. We try to overcomplicate them to make it like, well, that can't be that simple. I can't just move for 15 minutes a day to get in shape. I have to get a really complex workout program and buy new clothes and buy this and buy that. You know what? It's better to not even try. Versus, dude, just walk. Or if you can't walk, crunches. Or if you can't do that, push-ups. Or if you can't do that, there's something that you can do for 15 minutes a day. So what's that going to be? When I look at the report that I took over, am I going to make it better? Absolutely. I already have. And it's already significantly better. But I'm looking at it, and in that moment I was saying, I want it to be perfect, and this is my first time doing it. And these can be very complex reports with very important information, and they need a lot of scrutiny. So it's okay for it to take time at the beginning. I love beginner's mind, and then sometimes in my life get very frustrated by it. I know the benefits of it. I know the utility of it. I know that it is just better to be in beginner's mind. most of the time, in that you're constantly curious and learning and approaching it with wonder. And yet, there's still those times where I'm like, I just want it to be done, or I want it to be perfect, or I want it to be better. So the important thing is not never having the thoughts, it's just catching ourselves when we do. And then having ways to check ourselves and bring ourselves back. And sometimes that comes from us, and our habits and our routines and our rituals. But a lot of times, guys, it comes from somebody else who's outside the situation, and a friend or a person who knows you, or just a good supportive individual in your life. Could be your favorite cashier at the coffee shop. It could be your masseuse. It could be any number of people. But I don't believe we're meant to go through this journey alone. But I also know the dangers of being so afraid of being alone in the journey that we bring the wrong people into our lives. We stay in bad relationships. We end up perpetuating habits that we don't like. So, the real beauty in this, could it be that simple? I want you to picture whatever's frustrating you right now. Whatever is holding you down, whatever is really on your mind. Could it be that simple of just choosing to recognize it doesn't all need to get done right away? In fact, in many cases, it doesn't even need to get done at all. And recognizing everything is a choice. Every emotion is a choice. So, you can choose to stay in that emotion, the one that makes you uncomfortable and happy, and you can sit there. And guys, sometimes we need to. This is not a positive thinking and override everything bad in your life. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is it's important to recognize that these perpetual thought patterns, because that's more what I'm talking about, is when we just start to put the negative thought pattern record on loop and let it go, and we have this unchallenged habit loop, that's when we get into trouble. When something bad happens, we're like, shit, damn it, that sucks. It's like, okay, hey, yeah, maybe it does. A lot of times there are shitty things that happen. But we also have a choice of what our perspective is after that. It's, all right, it happened, it is what it is, what can we do about it? And then start making moves. Versus, shit, it happened, this is the worst, this is going to change everything, oh my God, and then we go down, blah, 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 and it's just step after step of stuff that doesn't help or serve us. So, when you think about what you're facing, could it really be that simple? Could it really be that simple to just say, hey man, it is what it is? If it's about another person, could it be that simple as saying, they are who they are, and I don't need to change them. In fact, it's not my responsibility to change them. My only job is to focus on me. Could it really be that simple? I want to get in shape, and I haven't worked out in years. Well, let me start with 5 minutes a day. Could it really be that simple? Hell yes. Because for me, when it comes to diet and exercise, and you guys know, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a trainer, I'm just talking about my experiences. That the consistency is the thing that wins. Consistency over the long term. So when I injured myself and I couldn't work out for a year and a half, I still was able to lose 23 pounds, get into some of the best shape of my life, and actually increase muscle mass in some areas which didn't make sense to me. And what was the exercise I was doing? 20 minutes of walking at a slow pace on a flat surface every day. That was it. I worked with a health and fitness coach to change my diet because I said I really need to and want to take control of this. And that was it. My relationship just feels like fucking chaos, and I don't feel like he or she gets me at all. It's all over the place. Maybe just have that conversation. What conversation? Exactly what you've been holding back. Exactly what's on your mind. Exactly what you're thinking and feeling. Even if that is, I don't really know why I'm feeling all this, but it just feels like things are off and I just want to put this out there. Even if it's just, I haven't been happy for a long time. Even if it's just, hey, listen, I love you, And I want things to feel better between us. And I actually realized I haven't shared that I would really like to spend more time together. I would really like for us to do some activities, maybe once or twice a week. I would really like for us to have 30 minutes of uninterrupted time together every night where we just talk and we learn about each other. The book, The 5 Love Languages, is phenomenal for this, if this is for you. So, in all of this, could it be that simple? Yes. If you choose for it to be. And even when I want to start a business, well, where do I get started? Google how to start a business. Could it really be that simple? Yeah. So much of what I've learned in my life, guys, has come from a quick Google search and then starting and going deeper and deeper. And then trying, experimenting, and then finding the books or finding the podcast and then finding the mentors. That's how this all begins. So, as we think about how it could be simple, what's that one step in your life that you could take today to simplify that thing you've been overcomplicating? Thank you guys all for listening. Thank you for being a part of this. I love you all, and I love sharing these morning commutes with you. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, or Google Play. And if you'd like to reach out to me directly, you can feel free to email me at brian@overcominggraduation.com to give me feedback on the show, ask a question, tell me a funny story, to send me a picture of a kitten that you drew, possibly to show me a sonnet, and any of those. If you want to reach out to me for speaking engagements, to give feedback on the show, to comment on something, ask me to answer a question on the air, I'd love to hear your feedback. I love hearing from you guys, and you can feel free to contact me at brian@overcominggraduation.com. Like I said, guys, I love you all, and I don't say that casually. I don't say that flippantly. I say that seriously. I'm sending you love. And as I'm working on loving myself more, I have more and more to give and share with all of you. And I want you to know that you're not alone. I want you to know that there are people out there that don't even know you, that care about you and want you to succeed. And guys, this is part of the journey. Let's share this together and make this a beautiful, beautiful ride. Love you all. Have a great one. And I'll talk to you again real soon.